Two students, same syllabus, same tutor, same study plan. They both walked into the same ACCA exam hall with the same hopes. One came out victorious, the other came out defeated. Not because one was smarter. Not because one worked harder. That's the twist no one tells you. Because ACCA isn't just a test of knowledge. It's a test of behavior, of pressure, of patterns, of how well you read the room, not just the textbook. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. We like to believe effort equals results. That hard work is rewarded. But ACCA? It doesn't care about that narrative. It rewards something else entirely. So ask yourself, what if your failure had nothing to do with how much you knew, but how you acted during the exam? What if it's not about what's in your brain, but what your brain does under 2 hours of silence, ticking clocks, and artificial lighting? And that's exactly why we're here. Not to talk about how to study harder. Not to give you another list of tips that sound smart but never work. But to bring you face to face with the real reason students fail ACCA, even when they do everything right. There are mistakes hiding in plain sight. Invisible errors baked into your preparation. And unless you catch them, you're setting yourself up to fail, just like the student who did everything right and still fell short. And if that sounds unfair, it's because it is. But once you know the game, you don't need fairness. You just need precision. This video is about that precision. So stay with me, because the biggest mistake is the one you won't see coming. Let's talk about Ryan, first-time ACCA student, checklist guy, highlighters, revision books, color-coded planner. He lived on discipline. Everyone told him, "You've done everything right." And he believed them. He walked into paper F8 like a soldier going to war, fully armored. And yet, halfway through the paper, he froze. Not because he didn't know the content, but because something felt off. Familiar, yet strange. The words looked like ones he'd studied. But the questions? They twisted. They curved. They danced around what he thought he knew. And when the clock ran out, Ryan walked out of that room feeling betrayed. Not by the exam, by the silence. No one ever told him the things that actually matter. Twisted mistakes, the psychological traps no one talks about. These aren't tips. These are landmines. They're dressed up as good habits. And that's why they work so well at failing you. Let's unpack them, not as advice, but as a thriller. Because each one has claimed hundreds of students who did everything right. Trap 1, the highlighter illusion. Ryan's desk looked beautiful. Pink, yellow, neon green. His notes looked like a piece of abstract art. It made him feel productive. And that's exactly the problem. Your brain rewards you with dopamine when you do things that feel like progress. Highlighting feels good. It feels right. It feels safe. But it's a lie. You're not studying, you're decorating. ACCA doesn't care how pretty your notes look. It wants to know, can your brain pull the information out of chaos, under pressure, without warning? That's called retrieval. That's called training. And no shade of neon will get you there. Trap 2, the past paper confidence scam. Let me paint the picture. Ryan, 3 days before the exam, does a past paper. No distractions. Calm. Snacks nearby. Phone off. Clock not ticking. He scores 72%. He fist pumps. I'm ready. Except he isn't. Because he trained in a simulation that doesn't match the battlefield. Confidence in comfort is false confidence. Because the real test isn't just your answer. It's your timing, composure, and energy management under real pressure. He thought he was ready for war. But he'd only practiced in peacetime. That's how ACCA traps you. It gives you tools, and then shifts the battlefield. Trap 3, the multitasker's curse. Ryan said he was focused. He played lectures on double speed. He took notes while checking messages. He told himself, I'm maximizing time. No one fails ACCA because they're stupid. They fail because they get caught in traps disguised as productivity. And the worst part? No one tells them they're traps. Until it's too late. And that's where this video becomes dangerous, for the examiners. Because now, you're learning the part they hope you never figure out. Ryan failed by 3 marks. Not because he didn't study. Not because he didn't try. But because he followed a system that never showed him where the traps were. That failure wasn't loud. There were no breakdowns. No one to blame. Just a quiet moment where he stared at the result, and began questioning everything. His ability. His intelligence. His future. That's the silent danger of ACCA. It doesn't just test you. It tests your self-worth. And if you don't understand the rules beneath the rules, You walk into that exam room already at a disadvantage. But Ryan's story didn't end there. He met someone, a mentor who had failed before, too. Not once but twice. And then passed every paper after with a different approach. No hacks, no luck, just strategy. Here's what changed for Ryan. He stopped over prepping topics the examiner barely touches. He learned to structure answers based on marking logic, not guesswork. He started training like an athlete, using time-pressured sessions, post-mortem analysis, and examiner commentary as standard prep. He moved from panic mode to process mode. That's what shifted everything. There's one mistake that never gets mentioned in study groups. It's not covered in tuition centers. It's not even on your revision checklist. And yet, this single mistake silently crushes thousands of ACCA attempts every year. Ignoring examiner reports. These reports are written after every exam, by the people who set the questions. They clearly explain what they expected from students, where most candidates lost marks, what good answers actually look like. But here's the twist, most students never read them. Ryan didn't either. And the structure he used in his failed attempt? It was directly criticized in the examiner's commentary. Had he read that one page, his 3-mark gap would have never existed. This isn't optional. If you're serious about passing ACCA, examiner reports are not extra reading, they're the manual. And now you know. Let's be real. Passing ACCA isn't just about how much you study. It's about avoiding what most students fall for. This isn't a knowledge exam. It's a precision exam. Those who pass aren't always the smartest. They're the most strategic. And that's what we do here. We don't just give tips. We build your mindset. We don't chase views. We build results. If this video helped you see your own mistakes differently, like the video right now. Comment below if any of these traps hit home for you. And subscribe if you're ready to pass smart, not suffer long. Because we're building a new kind of ACCA student here. The one who passes once and moves forward fast. No fluff, just strategy. Subscribe, like, share this with someone who's stuck. This one video might save them an entire exam cycle.